Hey, how's it going? My name's Peter, and in this video, we're going to go through step one of running TikTok ads. We're going to go through what you need to get set up, what you need at the start, all the things you're going to have to do to make sure you actually perform in the first 30 to 60 days, and then we're going to actually have a live walkthrough, and we're going to actually set up a new campaign together of pretty much if you're a new brand or if this is your first TikTok campaign. It's the same for almost everyone. You should be setting up exactly what we're going to set up later in this video. So again, if you're a brand owner, if you're just looking to get into TikTok yourself, marketing manager, this is for you on how to get your first TikTok campaign going. We'll have another video coming out, of course, on scaling, optimization, all that kind of thing. But this first video is just going to be around setup and getting that very first campaign started. All right. So let's get right into it. But before we can go ahead and get going on what we actually need to do, we need to go through some theory first on TikTok and make sure we have our prereqs down. So the first thing, which I will not be going through today, is you, of course, number one, need a TikTok account, and I will just be using TT as an abbreviation. So make a TikTok account for your brand if you do not have one. If you are just looking to just do ads and test out ads for brand or yourself, you're going to also want to do a business account. So normal TikTok account, TikTok business account. All right, so just B account. And then you're also going to want an advertiser account. So kind of like Facebook, you have multiple accounts, multiple layers. So a TikTok A account, advertiser account. There you go. Those are all you need. So once you create your business TikTok account and your ad account, it should look like this. And this is what it will look like once you kind of get in. I just kind of created a new one as an example. But this is what your ads account will look like. So go ahead. We'll have another video on the business and ad account and TikTok account setup. It's really easy to do. The other thing you'll want to do is also get your pixel installed. So if you are on Shopify, to get your pixel installed, very easy. You just add the TikTok app on Shopify. It'll just link your account. You'll just select the pixel you want to use, select the catalog. It'll make it all for you. Very easy through Shopify. You'll just get a TikTok app. So if you're on Shop, you'll just get the TikTok app, right? If you're on another platform, you'll see when you get to the Ads Manager what you need to do, but it's just going to be a little bit of header code that you're going to want to add to your site. All right, so it's that easy. TikTok account, TikTok business account, TikTok ad account, and then Shopify app if you're using that. And if you're not, you'll just want to grab the code from the ad account that you'll put into your e-commerce site. All right, so this is prereqs. This needs to be done first. The second thing, and I'll just call this like account setup. So AC setup. So this is step one. This all needs to be done. Okay. Step two, getting in over here. This is we need to know our KPIs and we need to get content. So this is kind of the other prereq before we can actually put the campaign together. So TikTok KPIs are pretty straightforward. The way TikTok works, it's really quite simple. What we need is a few things. So first and foremost, we're gonna want to use the budget calculator to understand what your ideal numbers should be for TikTok. Because if you're first running ads on there, you don't know what numbers you're really looking for. You're gonna want to use the budget calculator, figure out how much budget you're gonna want to spend on this test to make sure it works, and you're also gonna want to use it to know what numbers you need to look for. So when the time comes to scale or cut something, you know when you should do that. All right. So the first thing is filling out this calculator. It's really simple. It's just putting in the traffic of your site, the cost per mil, all that kind of stuff. Some of these you won't change, and this will tell you what not to change. But ultimately, this is going to give you an estimation of what you should be looking for your estimated cost per add to cart, which is the first thing we're going to be optimizing for on TikTok. The second thing is going to be estimated cost per purchase. So again, this is going to be based off of your other previous metrics, and this will be the optimal cost per purchase on TikTok that you're going to want to look for. And then the last ones here are just estimated impressions and this and that based off your budget. So, and this will of course give you the a budget from Sell Before, right? So I know that sounds really complicated, but it's really quite simple. So let's just say your average cost per add to cart. And this can be from, your Facebook manager, whatever other ads you're doing. If you've run ads in the past, use that number. If you don't know, you can look up an estimated number, but let's just say it's $5. Great. So on TikTok, the way the pixel is optimized, it's similar to Facebook. You need 3 things to fully optimize the pixel on TikTok. All right. You need, number 1, you need 50 add to carts every week. So 50 ATCs, add to carts, weekly. All right. That's once you get 50 add to carts on a weekly basis, you can move on to optimizing for add of payment infos, which in other words is just what we call initiate checkout. So add of payment infos, initiate checkout, somewhere along those lines. Add of payment info is more of a Facebook thing, but initiate checkout or add of payment info is kind of the next one we want to optimize for. So what we're going to do there, again, 50 add of payment infos AP weekly. So you need to be getting 50 add of payment infos each week for that to be fully optimized. And the last one, that is a 3, is 50. Now we can do purchases, 50 purchases a week, weekly. And this is just the way that the pixel is designed. So first you want to start off with optimizing your campaigns in e-commerce for add to cart. And once you start hitting 50 add to carts a week, then you can switch over to also optimizing for add to payment infos. Once you're hitting 50 add to payment infos each and every week, on top of the add to carts, 50 a week, then you can add on 50 purchases a week. And once, just purchase conversion campaigns. And once you're getting 50 purchases a week, then your pixel is optimized, right? So you have to get 50 on a weekly basis to really move on to the next stage and be fully optimized. Now, if you're getting 30, 40, you're not quite hitting that 50, it's okay. You can go ahead and skip to the next stage, but you want to get close to as much as you possibly can 50 a week, because your results are going to be way better and a lot higher when you get that 50 a week and you wait to move on to the next stage, okay? And then it takes 1,000 total lifetime, 1,000 total of each one to be fully optimized. So it takes 1,000 total ATCs to be optimized. It takes 1,000 total add payment infos or initiate checkout /IC to be fully optimized. And again, it takes 1,000 purchases to be fully optimized. And this is just, if you look into the TikTok white papers, this is all just how the pixel is designed. This is just how the AI algorithm works. So this is what you need to hit. You need to hit these in the long run for your TikTok account to be as profitable as possible. Okay, this is what you need to hit. All right, so this calculator will help you do that. It has the add to cart optimization calculator, the initiate checkout, and then the purchase optimization. Remember, all 3 are needed for a fully optimized pixel. And so again, we'll go back to this. $5 cost per $5 is our average cost per add to cart on Facebook, as an example, let's say, or just our estimation after looking up the average for our niche on Google if you haven't run any ads previously. Again, we need 50 a week. That's just standard. And of course, the budget weekly needed is around 250, right, on a weekly basis. So it'd be 35 on a daily basis, right? Really simple. And this is the other variables you want to put into this calculator for this first section here. Again, the percent of traffic that comes to your site and adds to cart. Really simple. Just find out on your site metrics. Again, if you don't know this, look at your site analytics and or look at the average for your niche. And then of course, CPM, it really depends, but on TikTok, it's anywhere from $3 to $5. I've seen it at $3 a lot lately, so we'll leave that there. 1% is the percent of people that click on the ad. 1% is about what we see, 1 to 2% on average. All right, so this gives us a cost per click of 30 cents. And then of course 10 clicks per 1,000 impressions, right? Or at least estimated traffic per 1,000 impressions, and then estimated traffic per 1,000 impressions as far as the carts go, about 2, right? So with all these numbers combined, our estimated cost per add to cart is around $1.50. All right. Same thing here. This is just going to be the average cost per cart on TikTok again. So we'll just say $5. and then 50% of the people that add to cart end up purchasing. I would say it's normally for most brands a little bit less, usually around 30%. So again, you're gonna have to look at your site metrics and find these and put these in. All right, so again, this is gonna be our budget needed to get the conversions each and every week. So again, we'll just put this in from cell B4. So that's 250, right? Again, our cost per mil is around $3 from what we had earlier. And then our ad click-through rate, again, 1%. Again, traffic that puts something into the cart, around 20%. You'll have to look up that number for yourself. And then the add to cart to purchase percent, again, we'll say is around 30%. All right. So this ultimately gives you your average cost per purchase based off of all these metrics, your average estimated weekly purchases, cost per cart, etc. And this will tell you ultimately, really the most important thing is like what that daily ad set budget is going to be needed to be. And of course, like how long it's going to take, how many impressions and how much you're going to have to spend to get to that 50 add to carts to be fully optimized. So I just ran through this first calculator. You're going to want to run through the second and third one as well when the time comes. It's the same kind of thing. You're going to be putting your metrics in, and it'll just be spitting out how long it's going to take, and of course how much budget you're going to need to fully optimized. But the whole point of this is just to understand how much budget you need to fully test, because if you're going to test, you should do it right and get your 50 weekly add to carts, then move on to your 50 initiate checkouts, and then move on to your 50 purchase conversion campaigns, all right, on a weekly basis. So the whole point of this is simply to fully optimize your pixel and understand what budget, how long, and what exactly is going to take to actually hit that fully optimized TikTok pixel. Okay, so step one, fill out the add to cart calculator, and then this will let you know how much budget you actually will be needing to spend on a daily basis. All right, so that's a really important number to know. The other important number to know, of course, is just in general, like what your COGS are, what your ideal cost of acquisition is. So you're also going to want to look at that, how much it costs to make your product, and all that kind of thing. So when we see how much we're spending per purchase, right? Estimated average cost per purchase $5. We want to make sense of that $5 actually makes sense, and that you're going to be making profit off that. So also look at those numbers, make sure that your margins make sense with this price you have to pay for the purchase. All right. All right. So again, the KPIs that we just went through here. Number one is ATC calc. That's the first thing you're going to want to do. You should do those other two calculators as well, but you can do those after you start getting the 50 weekly ATC calcs. So later, or the 50 a week add to carts, right? So later you can go ahead and fill out the AP/IC calculator, add a payment info initiate checkout calculator, and then the purchase conversion, so the PC calc. So you can do that later, but first start off with your add to cart calculator, because this will give you the budget you need to start spending immediately, because our first campaign is only going to be focused on add to carts. The second KPI is margin on the product that you are going to be promoting, right? Obviously we need to know that, because when we see this number down here, as far as the cost per purchase, we want to make sure that that makes sense, that paying $5 makes sense. Okay, so calculate margin with cost per purchase, so CPP. Okay, the other section here, this is just the KPIs you need to know, your daily budget based off that calculator, your margin, and whether that paying whatever this number says for you makes sense. The other thing, of course, is the content. So ideally you should have about 10 TikTok style videos ready to go, 5 to 10. I would have 5 to 10 unique, very different TikTok style videos on deck. So what do I mean by TikTok style? Well, I mean, 15 seconds, immediately calling out your ideal customer in the first 3 seconds. So you have to have that attention grabber in the first 3 seconds to get them, having your quick, 1, 2, 3 problem, 1, 2, 3 solution, make it entertaining, educational, funny, that sort of thing. And then of course at the end you have your little TikTok entry offer. So you want 5 to 10 unique, and by unique all the angles should be different. So let's say you are a jewelry brand, some videos should be talking about how it's made, some videos should just be doing outfits, some videos should be maybe a little bit funny, do a little skit with the jewelry, right? So each video should have a unique angle, a unique approach, a unique take on the product. We want 5 to 10 of those, all unique. You can create those yourself, or you can work with content creators or a creative team to get those developed. Of course, there's always the creator marketplace, which we have talked about previously. This is what we use to scale client brands by using other creators' content, sending them product and having them make stuff. It's a free platform. You can just sort based off your niche, whatever you want to look for. And then you can find people who would be good fits. And you can reach out to them, send them product, work with them. It's a very inexpensive influencer platform to use, so you can get 5 to 10 videos for less than $100 a piece. All right. But of course, go for it, do it yourself as well. So we need 5 to 10 unique angle videos. Again, you're going to want your call to action in it, your special TikTok offer. You want some sort of special TikTok offer. Use code TikTok for X% off, for lifetime guarantee, etc., etc. You're going to want your attention grabber, ATG, all right, in the first 15 seconds, and you want your 3 problems that you're solving. So, 3 pain points that whatever you sell kind of alleviates, and then your 3 solutions that you'll be presenting and how your product solves those problems. And you can present those in a logical way, in a funny way, in kind of a roundabout way, right? There's a bunch of ways to do that. But the main thing is call to action, that attention grabber, the TikTok offer, and then you have to have some sort of problem solution, like what it's all about with your product there. Okay, so 5 to 10 unique videos ready to go. All right, so that's the next step. And at this point, you are ready to get advertising. We're ready to set up our first campaign. Your TikTok account, business account. Again, you might have to confirm your business account, put your EIN in. You'll need a payment method, all that kind of thing in your ad account. Integrate the pixel with the TikTok Shopify app, or add it in the code on your site. Okay. Second thing is understanding your KPIs. So filling out the budget calculator here to see what you should be going for and what numbers you should be seeing. If you don't see these numbers, you should be cutting those ads. And if you see these numbers, you should be holding them and waiting till you get to your 50 weekly added carts. And then, of course, understanding your margin and just understanding how much it costs to actually deliver the product, right? From there, having a bit of content ready to go, and then understanding what the long-term KPIs look like for fully optimizing your TikTok ad account. All right. So this is all the stuff we need. So I hope that makes sense. So now we're going to go through and actually set up our first TikTok account. So the first ad set's really easy. What we're going to do is just one conversion campaign, add to cart, interest stacked, one ad set, and 3 to 5 ads. And then we're just going to go ahead and run this ad set until you reach 1,000 add to carts on the Lifetime Pixel and 50 conversions a week on the ad set. Don't touch this for at least 2 weeks unless it's doing really, really bad. So it's much less than a 1% click-through rate. So you should be seeing a 1% click-through rate on this. If your CPM is really high, like a lot more than $8 to $5, if it's higher than that, you should also have a look at adjusting a few things, but otherwise don't touch it for 2 weeks. Okay. And we're gonna have 3 to 5 ads in this. So we're gonna take 3 to 5 out of our 5 to 10. We're gonna actually have that many ads. All right. So we're gonna set this one up first, but before that, I'll just go through the next 3 to 4 and 4 to 6 weeks. So after this ad set starts, that first one that we're doing here starts to get 50 add to carts a week. Then we're going to switch over to initiate checkout. Again, interest stacked, a little bit more budget. And again, we're going to move over to our 50 conversion events before we go into purchase. All right. And then we'd add in, purchase and this and that. So hope that makes sense. There's a few other things in here that you can take a look at. But in general, really just worry about getting 50 add to carts on a weekly basis, and then you can move on to the initiate checkout and, of course, the add a payment info. All right. So let's go ahead and set this up. So we're going to go over to our TikTok ads. And again, this is just kind of a dummy account. So we'll just go ahead and set up a dummy campaign. I mentioned jewelry earlier, so let's just pretend we're going to be a jewelry brand for today. So we'll call this Jewels Are Cools. Top of funnel, conversion campaign, add to cart, one, right? Name it whatever you want. All right. Then from here, nothing to do here, no special ad categories. You can do CBO later. Usually it just depends, but usually doing CBO, once you know what's working, is the way to go. I would not do CBO, campaign budget optimization, until later. All right, set campaign budget. Again, we'll just do the minimum of 50 a day, but your campaign budget, if it's less than 50 a day, you're going to have to do a minimum of 50. That's just a TikTok requirement. If your minimum daily ad set budget, right, is higher, then of course you're gonna have to adjust for that, and we'll get into that in a second. But for now, we'll just put 50 a day. We'll probably change that later. All right. Great. So then promotion type, we'll just call this ad set 1, and just like it says here, we're just gonna be doing one ad set here. So the daily budget is all gonna be spent on our ad set. All right. Again, just keep that in mind. So again, website, we're just gonna, I don't have a pixel on this particular account because it's new, but you just select your pixel. Again, if you're not seeing a pixel here, check your installation with the TikTok app or the code. Again, I don't have the pixel installed, so it's not gonna show up. I could probably add one, but it's not worth it right now. But again, once you get the TikTok pixel, you'll see something that basically looks like this. And it'll just say, do you want to do add to cart? Do you want to do initiate checkout, etc., etc. So you'll see that under optimization event. Of course, just click add to cart. Then automatic placement, that's good to start. Later you can mess with this, but don't mess with really anything there for now. You can do automated creative optimization. That's totally fine. Just going to mix and match your creative and copy. And then custom targeting. So we go into targeting. It's really important, of course, to know who your ideal audience is. You should go ahead, do some research in your past customers, who they are, what they like, what their desires are. I'll have an entire other video on this. But to start, just the main country that you're going to be targeting, the main language. I usually keep gender pretty open, unless it's a very specific product, and then I keep age pretty open, except for the lowest range there. All right. Next is just if we want to kind of do more targeted lookalike audiences that we saved, so you won't have anything there yet. For interests, this is what we want to do here, and this is the best way to go about this, is to do an interest stack. Interest stack is just where you have a bunch of different interests all stacked together that you would want to target. So again, if we are doing jewelry, let me see if this will pull up with a jewelry interest in particular. Let's see. So again, we're a jewelry brand. We're going to want to try to find something that goes along with that. So watches are pretty close, ordinary jewelry, high-end jewelry. Again, this brand might just kind of have a little bit of everything. So that's really all we'd need for that. As a jewelry brand, video interactions, really don't need to worry about anything, but you can go in here and add in a few. So you could go into like lifestyle, travel, you could get a little bit associated with your interest here, but I don't find this to be super helpful. So I'm not really going to mess with this. All right. Creator interactions. Again, if you have very specific creators, that people are interested in, you could find those here. But like I said, there's not like a lot of stuff here that has to do with jewelry in my example, so I won't be using that. Hashtags are cool because you can target specific hashtags. So we could just do like a hashtag jewelry. And we'll see how this goes. Let's see if there's anything related here. Oh, there we go. All right. So let's see how big this audience is. That's a big audience. That's good. We want to keep the first campaign as broad as possible. So I'm just going to do hashtag jewelry. We already have a pretty big audience, so I don't feel like I need to do much else there. So we have hashtag jewelry. We have people interested in watches, ordinary jewelry, high-end jewelry, very broad. And then again, we're going to turn on targeting expansion just to kind of let TikTok play as much as possible. And I like to do this at the beginning just to get as big of a pool as possible. We're just looking for those 50 add to carts, and TikTok knows best, so we'll let that go. Again, our daily budget, right, says at least 20. We can go see what our calculator says here. So our daily minimum ad set budget is $35.71. So we'll just turn that to 36. Because we only have one ad set, it might not let us use this because we do need a minimum of 50 a day. Run this ad group continuously all day. Again, once you have optimized your TikTok account, you can mess around with the times and all this, but keep it very simple to start. Again, conversion, lowest cost is great. Again, later we can mess with that, and we can charge based off impression. That is just fine. Okay, now we're on to the ad section. All right, so now we just kind of figured out our budget, figured out our targeting. Now we're going to move on to the ad side of things. So this is very simple. Again, as our guide says, we're going to want to do 3 to 5 ads. So anywhere in there, you can just go ahead and upload your videos here, add in your text, right? Again, usually for text here, there's very few characters, so you really want to keep it to 2 lines. So for jewelry, I would say something like, right? So you can see that you only get a little bit of text here. And if I keep typing, it's going to cut off very quickly. So really 1 to 2 lines is all you get. So keep it straight to the point, right? And I'll actually do this, make it a little bit more interesting again, because we are a jewelry brand. So you could add in, I would max this out, put in 3 to 5 texts, as many as you can fit, and just put in different headlines that are kind of your call to action or your main selling point. All right. Interactive add-ons are really cool, but you don't really need those. You can create one. It's just kind of like a little pop-up coupon. So if you do have a TikTok offer, feel free to add in a little coupon with your code in the corner. All right. And then the call to action text, again, you can make it dynamic or standard. Dynamic just means it's going to change based off people's behavior. It doesn't really matter. I usually leave it as dynamic because sometimes learn more works better than shop now. So that's usually fine to leave it there. All right, and then of course, just making sure your pixel's all good to go. Again, this is just an example on page tracking pixel. And then you just want to make sure that this matches whatever it says on your ad set, and of course, whatever it says on your site in the code or the Shopify TikTok app. All right. The last thing here is it's not showing under here, but you don't really have to worry about the impression or click tracking. But one thing I would do is go ahead and use a UTM to track your TikTok data. That can be very, very useful. So I would go ahead and use that. You'll see the option right under tracking here, right under the pixel before these options. That's just like URL. So like where are you sending people to? On your website, you're going to want to put in, of course, your landing page, but you're going to want to make it into a UTM. So I'll show you the format that we use for TikTok UTMs. This is kind of the main UTM structure that people use. And I'll actually link this document under the video, but this is what it looks like. This is an example going to our site. So you're just going to want to copy and paste this, put your own landing page in here, leave the rest the same, and then you're just going to want to put that as the URL on your TikTok page right under here. All right. Then after you've uploaded all those creatives, added all your text for your ads, your headlines, your body copy, you can just click submit. And then after an hour or 2, it should go ahead and go live as long as it passes all the checks. All right. Some issues you can run into here. Sometimes your budget's too low. Sometimes you haven't uploaded enough money to TikTok if you don't have your card directly linked, so that can cause issues. If your business account is not confirmed, make sure to get your EIN in there and get your business account all confirmed. Just look up how to do that if you have questions. But that's really it. That's going to be your first campaign, right? And then once you run this, you're going to run this for about 2 weeks. Don't touch it again unless your click-through rate is lower than 1%. If it's lower than 1%, try new creative. Should work. And if your CPM is really high, if your cost of your audience is really high, try just maybe slightly changing your audience, slightly change your targeting in your ad set. But other than that, leave it for 2 weeks. And then once you start seeing 50 add to carts on a weekly basis, go ahead and go into the initiate checkout optimization. All right. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. One other thing is if you're not seeing conversions on your add to cart, on your website, it's probably the website itself, the landing page you're sending people to. If you have a low conversion rate on add to cart, that's going to be landing page changes. So just when you're troubleshooting, keep that in mind. All right. But this is kind of A to Z, how to get your first TikTok campaign set up and kind of how that structure works. Again, just going through it all together one more time. You're going to need your normal TikTok business account, your normal TikTok account, your TikTok business account, your TikTok ad account, all 3. You're going to want to make sure the pixel is installed via the TikTok Shopify app or the header code on your site. You're going to want to make sure that you fill out the TikTok calculator here, at least the first one, to understand what you should be paying for on your budget and what you should be paying for estimated cost per add to cart, all that kind of thing. And of course, you also want to know what your margins are to make sure that that cost per purchase makes sense, right? From there, you're going to want to make sure you have 5 to 10 unique TikTok videos of unique angles. all with kind of different approaches, different styles of just selling the same thing. Again, call to action, a clear TikTok offer. Of course, you want to have your 3 problems, your 3 solutions, and of course, your audience attention grabber. And then you want to understand, of course, what we went over here. With that, you need 50 weekly add to carts for a fully optimized pixel, 50 add to payment infos or initiate checkout weekly, and then of course 50 purchases and 1,000 total of each to have your pixel fully optimized. And this is all you need. From there, you're just going to set up one interest stack add to cart campaign. All right. And again, just 3 to 5 ads within that campaign. And then from there, we can move on to the following steps, which is just adding in more interest stacks through the weeks. All right. So this is just an entry-level video of everything you need to get started. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this helps. Talk soon.